Have you given yourself the time to dream? Have you allowed yourself to imagine the things that you would do? Do you have a dream that no one else knows about that you would pursue if money wasn't a concern? There's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes you have to decide now is the time, and the present is only the time that you can seize. And in those moments and in those times that you question whether you should jump, go, I'll just say both of them. You should go for it, you should jump for it, is that time. And I think when you want something bad enough, you'll get it. But it's going to take a lot of sacrifice and hard work, and I think you have to ask the right people to get that, to answer the right questions, to receive the right things that you need and the knowledge that you know. And sometimes there's intuition. Sometimes there are things that you have a feeling of and that you just know, but you don't know how. Not like you're obsessing about it, not like you're having some imagination of it, but that's just something that you know. And it's kind of like, am I here at the right place at the right time? What else should I be doing? Am I even doing this properly? If there's even a properly. And when you really look back and think about what you're doing, how is it affecting you? I've seen this TikTok of this, or I think it was a YouTube short actually, of this girl. She's working, female, is working two jobs, like one in the morning of, I think, like a telephone line person, and then another one working as like business advertising. And I saw in the comments that it was like, you're in your 20s, one of the comments was like, I did the same thing in my 20s and worried about money, and I focused solely on money, and it was a waste, and it was a waste of my youth. And I think when you get other people's experience and you try to apply it to yourself, it's hard. And you don't really know what to do and what the right choice is and where to go about it. Because, I was gonna say everybody, but like all the people around you have a very set in stone path, and the people around you have certain ideas and certain connotations of what's correct and what's wrong. But what is it? So my managerial accounting professor, I talked to her this past Friday. It's like Sunday now. I don't know when I'm posting this, but anyways, I talked to her this past Friday, and she was like, she is a professor and she doesn't have a doctorate in accounting. And I was like, well, what would you do as a doctorate with an accounting business or degree, not business? And she was like, well, you would mostly just do research. And I was like, oh, like what type of research is that? And she's like, well, it's like putting X in, like this cause with this cause is what caused this, and like that type of thing, rather than like new experiments, what I was thinking of for like science. And she was like, pursuing a doctorate degree in accounting is like more prestigious and it's more looked highly upon. But she's at my school and is a master's in teaching it. And I think when you're surrounded by people who have certain expectations of what you should do, that's what I was getting at, I promise, of having like certain expectations of what you should do, it's kind of hard to figure out what you want to do. And I think sometimes we think that our personalities are fit to be a certain something, that we into this box, so we must be this person or this thing or this idea or this identity. But when you grow and when you have life experience and when you age, you are no longer that person sometimes. And sometimes you are, and you find out that you love it, and that's an amazing experience to have reaffirmation of what you're doing is what you should be doing. And that's another type of joy and vocation within that. And I think there's also a vocation of changing and doing something different and trying to be the person that you want to be in a different way. And not to say that your younger self was a bad person or a wrong person. They were just a person who didn't know any better, and that they didn't have the life experience that you have now. And with this life experience that you have now, it's something that you shouldn't take for granted, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, because every single thing that you have now is leading you towards something else. And one of the things is like a person that I know I was talking to, they were like, Emma, you're not really, like the past couple of years of college, last year I was like, oh my gosh, what if I dropped out? I'm not really enjoying it. And then like, I'm thinking about this year, they're like, well, you're a few years into college, you could think about graduating early. And I was like, dang, I really could. Then I was like, yo, I have to do this, this, and this, and this, because I have like classes that like rotate every year that are only provided every other year. And yeah, I think finding out what you want to do and finding out the things that you potentially want to do is most important, I think. And maybe it might not be very conventional. Maybe it might not be the road that everybody else wants you to do. And I think if you were to look back, of course hindsight is 20/20, but when you're in the moment, it's like, what do you enjoy and what do you actually have a passion for? And when you take out money, it's like, what do you want to do? And I think it's so true is that when you find things that other people find as work is when you kind of find your flow. But I think also is when you want something bad enough and that you have a passion for something, money will always follow. As long as you want it bad enough and that you're willing to be uncomfortable for a bit. And you just figure it out. Not to say that I'm dropping out this year. I don't plan on dropping out. But I think answers become prevalent more and more as you go throughout life, and the more that you try life, because time will always tell. That is the quote. Time will always tell. And sometimes like when I was like looking at TikTok and it was somebody just like describing about poems and like writing poems and reading poems, I'm like, man, that'd be kind of chill. And like maybe I'll do poems here and there. Because like I had this thing, like I know I already showed you guys, but I still have this painting that I need to finish. And it's like little penguins, and I thought this was like the cutest little thing of like green and like pink, and I'm obviously gonna clean up the white. And this dude is just zonked. But like I think I'm gonna like try to like figure out my schedule. And I'm like 5 weeks into school now. This is the 5th week, and I'm like, I still don't know what I'm doing. And I have a test on Thursday for my analytical chem. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But then I'm like, yo, I might just switch to like morning practices so then I can have a little bit of like downtime to like paint and whatnot throughout my day. But I'm like, that's what I would do if I had more free time, is like paint, because I have paintings. I have like this painting, and it's like this painting that I did, and I thought it was funny. But yeah, and then I really like the Charlie Brown stuff, but I have an unfinished I think you guys have seen this painting too. I'm going on a tangent and just sharing my paintings at this point, but yeah, that's that's what I would do if I had more free time. And that, like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just coming down to like a point of like, I don't know what I'm doing. Science is chill, but it's groovy. And I think that, like, big picture, I might just get a job in science and maybe try to do other things outside of the 9 to 5. But I don't know. I'm kind of holding out hope that something else will come about and that time will tell. Because I think just trying to network is really my goal. And trying to meet new people and try to see what they're up to and get their thoughts. And I think that's kind of why I really am trying to, like, also try to get a business major, is to, like, open up as many doors as I can and try to see what happens, because I think if I can combine my science degree with a business degree, it would be really cool. And it would probably open up a lot of doors. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I really don't know. But, like, I'm just trying to find ways to enjoy certain things, because I obviously don't enjoy studying. I really don't. It's not my favorite thing. It's high key, like 10:30, and I need to, like, finish up my biochem. I need to finish up my analytical chem results draft. But I did that in the car today, during that 3.5-hour drive, so, yeah. But, yeah, I think just trying to find small things that are enjoyable and, I guess, try to find a routine is the best thing that I can tell you to help you out. Because I think when you can really just make time for things during the day that you actually love and enjoy is what's going to get you through this hard time. And not to say this hard time is going to be not hard, because every hard time is hard, but it'll be more manageable, I think. And you have a lot more life skills and a lot more resources in your back pocket, and resources that you might not have had years ago or a year ago or 6 months ago. And yeah, I hope you know you're gonna come out of this, and that the person you were 60 days ago, 6 months ago, is looking at you 60 days later and is like, wow, I wish I could be there right now. And here you are, 60 days later. And I am so proud of you. And you should be too. Food for thought.